Can you guys hear me? I'm trying to get my video up. YouTube just like auto started the stream. I actually never clicked start, so but we're here, we're doing it. Oh, let me get the simulation running for you in case like anyone is actually watching this and wondering what the heck is going on. Alright, cool. Keep watching, keep listening to me. I can see your chat. Ask me some questions. And I'll answer them by voice while I try to get my stupid webcam to work. It's so weird, I was just using it today for work too. There's no reason why it shouldn't be working. Oh wait, there I am. Hello! Oh man. Hold on, I'm getting a hat. Alright, chaotic random stream night begins. Hello everyone, sorry for the delay. We're here now, we're gonna be here for a little bit. I know I haven't put out a video in a very long time. I wish I could. I wish I had more time and, you know, had shifted my ideas more, but one thing I'd like to do instead is, when I have the time, to stream. To chat with you, to show you the build, to build a little bit, to do whatever. We're going to take it as it comes. But glad to see you're all here, having a good Friday night. It is rainy here in New York. It's been rainy every weekend in New York. It's been pretty terrible. All right. Back to where's the chat here? Who's got it? Perfect. Where have I been? I've been working a lot, working a whole lot. I was traveling as well. I spent a couple weeks in the wonderful nation of Japan, which was truly a once-in-a-lifetime kind of experience. And honestly, just been kind of unmotivated to be in the game very much. I've been playing a lot of other games in the little spare time I do have. I've been playing a lot of Baldur's Gate 3. I've been playing a lot of Civilization as usual. And I've been kind of working on and formulating what I want to do next with this channel, which is going to be kind of what you're seeing right now, which is streaming the game, playing the game with people, chatting, answering questions, but I'm going to shift the videos in more of a New York direction. I want to go around and shoot some footage around the city, just like with my phone on a tripod. You know, I'll continue to talk and voice over. I'll use the game occasionally when it really makes sense. But with, you know, the community probably moving on to City Skylines 2 pretty soon, I don't intend to pick up that game to start. I'm honestly a little disappointed with some of what I've seen from it, and we'll talk about that more later, but I just want to play the game for fun, which is going to be some off-camera stuff, me just trying to fill things in, and a lot of it I want to just play around with you guys, because this is a lot of fun. I like streaming, and I would prefer to do it more unscheduled and do it without, you know, like an actual plan for what it needs to be. So you guys probably haven't seen the save file in a while. So I do have new graphics settings on. I did a lot of work in the last few months with like what I guess is going to be like the final patch for City Skylines 1, and honestly, the game's in a really good state right now. With some of the newer mods that are out, I'm able to run the city exactly the way that I want to, and I'm getting pretty good frame rates. Hopefully you can all see that, but When I zoom out, I'm getting like 35 frames a second, frames per second sometimes, which is absolutely wild. I'm used to getting like, 10 everywhere and 7 when you zoom in. And even when I zoom in out of Lower Manhattan, I'm pretty fluid. I'm getting 26 frames per second right now, 28. That did not used to happen. And that incentivizes me to play the game a little bit more, because it's not like, it's not crashing, it's not acting weird, it just works. Freedom Tower, it's alright that you haven't caught a live stream in a while. There hasn't been a live stream in a while. I have been neglecting this for far too long. So I have built a few new blocks just the other night, kind of trying to fill in Lower Manhattan. I also added this building here, which is 30 Park Place, off of the workshop. This was recently added. It is beautiful. I had a PO'd asset here, but you gotta use the real thing if you have it. I was looking on the workshop. I think at some point I need to. I know there's a new 40 Wall Street that looks a lot nicer, and I think there's a new World Trade Center 7 that looks much more like the World Trade Center 1 here. And I wouldn't mind grabbing that as well. One building that I know I have, and I'm gonna be off screen here on the maps trying to figure this out. Another great thing, I don't actually know if I've streamed yet from this setup, but a few months ago finally had electrical work done in my apartment, and I now have my desk where I want it, so I have my main 1440p screen in front of me where I'm playing the game on, and I now have a vertical 1080p screen to my right, where I can more quickly just kind of glance instead of having to like almost like lean over or really get into the other screen. Sorry, you probably couldn't hear that leaning away from the mic, but yeah, this works a lot better. So there's a Chelsea Market asset, and I haven't placed it down yet, and I would like to. I don't know how big it is, like what section of it is. Oh, this is a pretty big asset. All right, cool. So Chelsea Market is on. It's between 15th and 16th Street, between 9th and 10th Avenue. So that's this set of avenues. And then between 15th and 16th means it's like right here. I'm just going to place it down, and then I'm going to move it around to get it in its correct position, because I don't actually know, like... I mean, did I just nail it? Is there more to it? Do I lay it down twice? I don't... I probably should read something, but, that's okay. Oh, no, I'm sorry. I see what's going on here. I actually, it goes like this. And then the rest of the block also has a lot of like red brick warehousey style units on it. Not an area of the city that I'm like very familiar with. I mean, Chelsea's a cool spot. I'm spending a lot of time there. If in chat, if you've been to New York, where'd you stay? If you're not from New York and you have visited New York, where have you stayed? What neighborhoods did you explore? Always very curious to me, because a tourist perspective is often very different than myself or anyone who may have lived here a longer amount of time. Yeah, so there's just red brick buildings just piled in here. So I'm going to... That's a bit too big. Yeah, let's just do this. Then I think, is there like a, like a warehouse or like red brick? That's not really what I want. I'm thinking of like Red Brick Industrial, but maybe I just don't have that asset anymore. I mean, this happens a lot where you just kind of forget, which assets you have. Especially when you haven't played the game in a while, you can be quick to forget. Oh, I could put in some of these. This is I guess like most of this would actually be housing too, so that makes sense. I don't know. This is always the tough part about playing this game. Sorting through. Oh, look at this. Actually, this looks cool. I'm gonna put a couple of those down. Wait. I don't have anarchy on. That would help. Freedom Tower, I am going to Comic-Con as well. What day are you going? I'm going for the first time. I've never been to Comic-Con before. M Social Hotel. As south as 33rd. Yeah, 33rd is a bit away from Times Square. I wouldn't call that Times Square, but still a great area to be in. And you're going all 4 days? I could not. I would be exhausted. That would be too much for me. I'm going for just 1 day. 1 day is enough. I am going with some friends though, so I'm looking forward to that. And like I said, I've never been, so it's something I've always wanted to do, and like every year I'm like, this is gonna be the year I'm gonna go to Comic-Con. Just never works out. Can you guys guess who I'm going to be? I am going to dress up. Let's just say this: the beard. It's very nerdy sci-fi, and the beard is definitely part of the costume. I mean, I always have a beard, but I have to actually ask my friend. I didn't get the tickets, so I need to actually confirm with them what day I'm going. I'm like verified, but I don't know. It's all very complicated. I know my friend, like, he sent us a picture. He like actually has the passes. Yeah, so I'm going as Riker from Star Trek. I did it for Halloween a couple years ago. I still have the costume, and I think that will just be a lot of fun. And it's easy. It's just, just wearing like the Starfleet jacket and insignia. That's really it. I'm a really big fan of doing Halloween costumes that like, also keep you warm. Like practical Halloween costumes, I guess you would say. Hey Rico, what's going on? Yeah, that is some coincidence, huh? First time I've done this in like, I don't know, 3 or 4 months. Enjoy your vacation in New York. I'm sorry that it's gonna be rainy again this weekend. I mean, winter is overrated, but I really like the fall. I like the spring. Like we're solidly in fall now, and I think like by the end of the weekend, it's gonna be cool here and crisp, and it looks like the weekdays this week at least will be dry. So I'm looking forward to it. Like I mentioned before, so I was in Japan a few weeks ago, and I don't know if anyone's been following like climate news, but September is like completely off the charts, like so far above and beyond what like the scientists thought was possible. And when I was in Japan, it was like the hottest September they'd ever had. And I was there like mid to late September, and it was like 90 to 95 degrees every day. It was absolutely brutal. I just told somebody that I'm streaming. They're like, stream? What? I know. September started out really hot. It was brutal. And then I left and the heat broke and it got cool again. But then I was away. And then I get back and it's hot. It was hot again briefly. And now it looks like it's finally going to get to and stay fall for a little bit. Another good thing in the save right now is the traffic's really good. Oh, wow. Actually, 80%. That's even higher than it was when I played the other day. But yeah, I mean, the tunnels get a little busy, of course, especially since I haven't built all of the Lincoln Tunnel yet. But yeah, this works pretty well. The traffic's really good, and the transit is being used a lot. I have over 4,000 total people using the subway. There's a few lines that still don't work, but most of it is built out now, and pretty much everything is running all right. Sagager, I don't know what the settings are. I will save the stream if I'm able to. Yeah, I'll definitely keep it. Normally I schedule streams. This is the first time I've streamed in a long time, just like click and go live. So, hopefully I'll get the option to do that. That is absolutely my intent. This is one problem that I've been having. You notice that like the LUT changed. But I've noticed if I just change it back manually, then it will stay like this for the rest of the game. But like for some reason, when the first time that I start building something new, that happens. All right, let's build some more of downtown Manhattan, because I think I really should like start focusing on more of this area. I would love to just like get even like south of Canal Street, like really fully filled in, maybe even detailed a little bit more than I normally would. I think that would make some really good visuals and would help it make more sense for videos in the future. So keep with yourselves in chat. I am going to zoom over on my screen here and let's see if we can build out like these 4 blocks here or so. This is 59 Maiden Lane. Let me just zoom to that. That's an asset from the workshop. But I want to build above it. So interesting buildings around here. It's like, I don't know if anyone, if you've been to New York or you've been to like Lower Manhattan, it is really dense. It's just so crazy, really ridiculously dense. It really a much more claustrophobic feeling than a lot of Manhattan is. And you have a mix of buildings that have been there a long time, buildings that have maybe not been there a long time, but it's a hodgepodge and they are constantly building new things. So you'll see, a lot of, modern, apartment buildings looking there, because for a long time, Lower Manhattan was like, why would you want to live down there? It's crowded, it's noisy, it's busy, whatever. And then over the last 20 years or so, it's really become a much more common place for New Yorkers to live. And because of that, of course, has seen an incredible amount of new construction. And, you know, I don't have any weird angled buildings, so we're just going to shove them all in here. And in the end, when you're done with it, it's going to look great. Let's see. You know, I'm not going to be too nitpicky. Like, I want to build quickly. I don't want to, like, always look for the perfect building, but like, that's not what that building there looks like, but it fills the space nicely. And we're going to keep moving on. Trying to go more for, like, the feel of a neighborhood than just trying to make it look perfectly correct. Okay, so on this corner here, there is like a large apartment building like I'm talking about, or it's the Artisan with 2 E's luxury 4-star hotel. And probably like apartment buildings also, but let's see if we search for condo. I want like one of the taller ones. So this building looks like it's a little bit taller than this building is, so I need to find something pretty tall. Which I don't know, I may struggle to do here. Let's find out. This is 154. I would need bigger than that. That's not as big either. I mean, I guess I could PO it. Yeah, let's just, I'm just gonna PO it. Put that about there. Convert to PO. I said I want it a little bit bigger than, yeah, that's maybe a touch more. There we go. All right, done. But this is why I love Lower Manhattan too, because you're gonna have this giant apartment building here, and then next to it is going to be like the tiniest little nothings of buildings. Let's see if it's got a corner piece here. Oh yeah, one of these guys, but I need one of the small ones. I think that's fine. I know it looks a little messy, you know, at ground level here, but you know, we'll take a look in a second and zoom out, and you'll see how well it works within, you know, what we're trying to do here. And I'm trying to put a lot of like actual apartment buildings down here because like that's just what the game is looking for. It's like this and offices, so you know, wouldn't mind putting in some offices as well, but a lot of those, you know, maybe don't really fit the size. But I'm gonna try to keep it a little bit varied. I think there's a problem that you see a lot in the game where you put in too much commercial, and then the commercial kind of dies out. That's what you see, all these red blinking boxes. I'm gonna try to avoid that. But yeah, you see, you know, it looks a little funky when we're building it, but then the moment you actually go down to street level and see what this looks, and you know, go out to a farther view and see what it looks like, I think it looks really nice. And that's how we do it, just one block at a time. Hey, Zombie Gamer, I'm doing pretty good. How are you? Sorry, I'm catching up on chat here. Yeah, I was looking the other day, Daniel, about like zoning some stuff, but I don't think I have like the thing to build like a theme for a district to do the zoning. I don't know if that's changed. I think maybe I'm missing a mod, or I'm not using a new mod I have correctly. I'll give that some more time at some point, but I just haven't, you know. That was the other day. I was just messing around. All right, so that was like the front of that block. Got it. All right, now it's like it's so easy to get turned around too when you're looking at this from like Google Maps. This block looks like it'll have more office space on it, which is good. I don't want to copy that building there though. And the building in the middle here looks so familiar. This is where I become too much of a perfectionist in this game. Gotta find the right building. No, you don't. Just build. It's gonna come out great no matter what. I think some of the best things for me to just do is just get things done so that, you know, the city will feel very functional. That's what I want from it. Like, I want this to all look and work like it is a real city. Yeah, so there's like a big office building in the middle here, so I'm gonna see if I can find something that's like that I can stick in the middle and maybe spin. I think that'll work actually. Perfect. All right, and then like just do two big corner pieces here. I think these are probably 4x4s. That should work out. 4x4. There we go. It's a little bit too big. Yeah, that works for one of them. Yeah, why not? There we go. Fill this in with concrete. And no one's the wiser. One more block done. Yeah, WGC, it's hard. It's hard for me. It's like I want to, you know, you could always spend more time and get it more right, but also, you know, there's a lot. You know, I'll never say that I'm going to get all this done because that would be ridiculous. But you know, I want to get more done. I'd love to, like I said, at least get, you know, maybe Canal Street fully filled in. And I mean, when I built this game in the previous version of it, the version of it where I wasn't streaming it, but, you know, a save that I can't even open anymore, it's totally busted. I had filled out a lot more. I had filled in like everything like east of like Broadway up to like 14th Street, all of Williamsburg, all of Greenpoint, much larger areas uptown, much more areas along Island City. And then I also had built a bunch in Hoboken and Jersey City, which I may never get to in this build. And that's okay if I don't get to it. Can't do it all. All right, so that was what I said. I wanted to get like these ones built as well, right? Okay, so let's see if I can find where I am again. After I was just like zooming around the map. All right, I have it. I have it. Let's go. All right, so on this next block, so this is like the Fulton Street 2-3 station. And there's just like a giant office building here, I guess. Like maybe half this block is an office building. So let's see if I have something that'll fit there. Looking for something around that size, but maybe bigger. Yeah, this would probably work. Let's go for that. That fits in nicely. And then pretty much the rest of the block is just like a bunch of, you know, similar rise, but, you know, single file kind of buildings. Oh man. Is everyone doing Halloween this year? What are your thoughts? What are you planning on dressing up as? I know I discussed my Comic-Con costume. I also have to wear another costume next week for a work event. But then I still need to figure out Halloween. 3 costumes in 1 month is too much. That's like well beyond my limits of reason. I mean, it's gonna be fun, don't get me wrong, but it's too much. I don't know about this right now. I'm trying to find something. I'm not even trying to find perfect. I'm just trying to find something that'll fit. Yeah, whatever. That's fine. I have this problem too where like, oh, there we go. Like, Move It's like behaving a little bit differently for me than I'm used to. I mean, it's still the best, but it's just a touch different. Something about it. I don't know. I can't describe it. This building always looks nice. Always good to have buildings downtown that have water towers on them. They are pretty ubiquitous all over the city, but especially in the, you know, kind of quieter part, quieter, older parts. That's what I wanted to say. Yeah, not quite, you know, the Friday night, a couple of beers have been had, so you do the best with language that you can. I'm actually going to be brewing a batch of beer this weekend. Brewing's been a hobby of mine for a long time. And I don't brew during the summer because it's too hot in the apartment to ferment, and I just don't like the flavors you get. But now it's fall, the temperature's coming down. I am brewing once again. And that is another block done. Scary movies is a good idea. I am not a horror fan. It's very much not for me. But you know, respect if that's what you're into. All good, all good. You know, I'm doing this on like my side monitor, and it's just formatted a little bit too strangely. Can I? There we go. Oh, now I can't really. All right, we'll make do. What am I gonna do for 8 Spruce Street? That's a good one. I don't know. I always kind of held out, like hoping that someone would eventually do that building, but that's never happened. So, I mean, what are you gonna do? But I don't know. We'll see when we get there. I don't know exactly where that is. I'm probably like pretty close to it, but I'm still pretty happy with the blocks that have been going in. You know, this almost like this whole area now is like, well, these were there, but like all of this is new in the last couple of days. I was building a little bit off camera, just trying to get back into the swing of things, make sure everything was working correctly. Chem Scott Benedict. I will not be doing any other cities in City Skylines. If I do ever do another series or another build, it will be something that is like not a copy of an existing city. It'll be something for fun. And maybe that'll be in City Skylines 2 in the future when that game is, you know, fully fleshed out and working the way that, you know, this one is now. I don't know. I've been a little bit down on City Skylines 2. I have not pre-ordered. I'm really gonna wait and see. I'm disappointed that, you know, there's no bikes to start. That they had to add, you know, terrain lines in at the last moment. So much of the, like, the road building controls and tools, those look amazing. Like, I'm not like trying to totally slate it. I'm not trying to totally bash what all these developers and creators have worked on. Like, I'm sure it's going to be a really fun game. Some of the scenarios and the way, like, the logic of the game works seems to be a lot better. And if you like playing the game in that way, I think that's a huge plus. For me, as a sandbox game, I think there's going to be a lot of things that are missing to start. And a lot of mods that are going to need to be ported over, recreated, tweaked, changed. We'll see. We'll see how much, you know, Colossal and Paradox give us. And you know that with City Skylines 2, just like this game, there's going to be a ton of patches and free content, but also DLCs. And, you know, hey, you want this vital feature? Here, give us another $12 or whatever it's going to be. So I'm not going to dive into that game immediately. I'm going to wait for the reviews. If they're amazing and everyone says, you got to play it right now, yeah, I'll get into it. But I'm pretty happy playing this, playing Baldur's Gate 3, playing Civ 6, playing FIFA, whatever. Where do you guys want to see in the city? What do you want to know more about? What areas are you want to see up close? It's so nice to spin the map around and not have it like freeze and glitch out. It really does look nice. It's a little glitchy back there, but that's normal. That's really far away. All the way in this little tiny corner of the Bronx right there. That's all the Bronx you get, unfortunately. Yeah, and like I said earlier, Kevin, like City Skylines 1 is in such a stable state right now if you have the right mods installed. Like it's so nice to not have to worry about it crashing, freezing. I mean, as I'm saying this, like, I'm tempting fate. I'm going to save real quick. Yeah, oof to the Bronx. I would absolutely love to have done more of the Bronx, and maybe in the many years ago where I created this, maybe I would have cut it like down by Red Hook and then given myself like another thin slice of the Bronx and more of the Upper West Side, Harlem. But this is where it ended up. So I've been using this this is like my custom map, and I've already built all the images for it, so I'm not going to any updates on Queens? Well, probably not a lot. I think most of this has been shown before. Built out some industrial out here just to kind of help with that demand. I do have the 7 line built all the way to the 52nd Street station in Sunnyside. And that's working very nicely. This intersection is like not fully built out, but it's built out as much as I need it to be. I'm basically been doing a little bit of like a little bit of detailing work around here, trying to fix some of the stuff that broke over the months, over the mod changes. It's definitely an area that I want to build out more because it's kind of an easy area to get quickly filled in. And the transit's pretty much done out here. 40 frames a second. That's insane. I had 7 maybe as far as I wanted. I'm tempted to maybe drag it out to... You can see the indentations in the map here. These are where some of the rail lines go. I definitely want to build out Sunnyside Yard. I feel like that'd be a really fun area to detail. I don't know if I'll extend into Astoria or extend into the Queens Boulevard line. I think kind of up here is enough. I may have to relocate these depots. We'll see, but look at that, and I lost the LUT again. It's really annoying that that's happening. And I keep like saying like, you know, use this one as the default, and it just never works. Yeah, there's still plenty to do. There'll never not be something to do in this. That's kind of the beauty of building a city like New York. It was certainly not built in a day in real life and can never be built in a day in City Skylines, but it works really well now. I have all of like the views set really long so I can, you know, you can see clearly all the way downtown like it's a normal clear day. Oh, nice, WTC. So are you working on a 1-to-1 scale build as well? And are you using like a custom map? Did you create one yourself? Did you get one off the workshop? There's a lot of options out there. Hey, listen, you wouldn't be the first or the last. That's what I love about the City Skylines community is that everyone has like their own take on doing something like this. Ah, cool. Just, you know, lights clipping through. We'll ignore that. 148th. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I wish there was a 125th up here, but it's just like, because I would love to have built like 125th Street Station, make that connect better with the rail lines, but like that would be like just off screen here. I have in past builds like done some work at least on the highways around here to route the traffic, and you know, built out the Triborough Bridge and you know, built the rail line down here, and that's something I probably will do eventually. It's just doing rail work is annoying. It's a lot of work. Question, how's the audio, by the way? Another update that I made to my setup is I used to be using an AMD card and using NVIDIA Broadcast. Using an NVIDIA card and using NVIDIA Broadcast. And I recently upgraded to a AMD 6750 XT. Did some cooling upgrades, did a case update, did a power supply update. So now I'm using AMD's like built-in noise suppression software. So hopefully you can't hear like, you know, the air purifier going in the background or my fans whirring or anything like that. All right, I'll have to work on that for next time. I need to like spend some time with the setup recording things and seeing if I can make that sound all right. Yeah, my levels are okay. I'm peaking a little bit. I can probably turn that down a touch. And hopefully the music in the background is okay as well. I would like to see more City Skylines YouTubers though. Like I know like I'm pretty rare and like focusing on a one-to-one build. It's not like the most popular segment. I think more people prefer to be creative. But I wish there were a few more out there. I know I've seen a few. I know there's like, you know, someone's doing Berlin. I think someone's doing Paris, and I think what other ones I've seen. I had a Chicago build at one point a few years ago that was pretty nice. It wasn't perfect, but it wasn't as nice as this, but it was a lot of fun to build. I got pretty far in it. I got like most of like kind of the eastern part of it done. Daniel, not any specific mod, just kind of a series of mods. If you go look at any of my recent videos, in the description there'll be a link to my workshop page with my full mod list. They thankfully, with some of the recent updates, it's gotten even less finicky. Like, there's like a lot of the mods are really getting cemented. Like, people are realizing that the game's just about to stop being worked on, and they can really make their mods perfect without having to worry about a change affecting them again in the future. So I am using like the FPS booster stuff to help out, but really a lot of it is just all the mods they just work together now. They just fit really well, and even a view like this, I'm down to like 15, 16 frames, but it doesn't feel unstable. It doesn't feel like I'm gonna crash. Everything's just working fine. I haven't had a crash in this game in a really long time. Knock on wood. And these are some of the densest areas with the most people in my build, and they're just fine. There's 27,000 people there, or going to Sty Town is always a good one because it's like really densely packed. And everyone's just going about their days. I can zoom in and out, no problem. So yeah, pretty happy. Yeah, this is a bug. This is a bug on a node. I haven't never been able to fix it, but it just like. Let's see, can I raise it up? There we go. Like, I'll do this and then it'll just be the same again the next time I load the game up. But that's okay. How often do I come over here, you know? Oh, hey, something unpredictable. Hello, I am also in Queens. I started out living in New York and Brooklyn for a year. Spent 6 wonderful years in Manhattan, and now I'm a Queens boy. I'm still not a Mets fan, though. Don't get it twisted. Yankees all the way. Yeah, I mean, Freedom, were you able to like use the Golden Gate Bridge and then like color it silver? Because yeah, that would probably work really well. Like similar era. Yeah, George Washington Bridge would be like all the way up there. That is a choice though. Like it would totally be reasonable to have a map of the like a New York map which basically cut off like here. Like you get all of Manhattan, you get like just downtown Brooklyn and up. But that would give you probably give you all the way to the bridge, more of the Bronx. But you gotta draw your line somewhere. Jesse, thank you. New York City really is the best. Don't let the crazy people in the media tell you that it's like, some kind of violent hellhole. It's ridiculous. Literally the only thing that makes me feel unsafe in New York is cars, which are like completely out of control. I get hit like at the intersection by work. Like I almost get hit like once a month. Where I have to like scream at a car and be like, I have the light and you're blocking the entire crosswalk. What are you doing? Yeah, Jaden, somebody asked about that one earlier. Or, oh no, not Jenga block. Somebody asked about 8 spruce, which also has like a really unique, like twisted shape. Yeah, no, there isn't that. Which, like, I don't know. You feel like those are iconic buildings that someone would take that chore on, but that's why there are some gaps in my downtown skyline. But for the most part, I think I have all of the big buildings. It's just, I think I need to get more of the gaps filled in for it to really feel cohesive. But we did do a few blocks today, and I did a few blocks the other day. So like this kind of like eastern area, I want like sloping down into the South Street area, is really coming together nicely. And oh boy, the bus is very popular. This is people waiting for the M15 bus, I believe. The select bus. When will I add Central Park? At some point. I can make no promises to when anything will get done, since I've done very little in recent times. But progress is being slowly but surely made. I would definitely like to fill in at least this bottom part of Central Park. Maybe do the zoo. I did the zoo in a previous game, and like there are like zoo assets in the game that like actually work pretty nicely if you use some other kind of trees and stuff to blend it all in. Yeah, WGC, I don't think I have the M15 local. I think I just had the select bus service. Yeah, just the select. I have only a few bus routes in the game, which is dumb because like they actually do work really well. The M22 is the most popular, it looks like. And this one connects like Battery Park City to like through into the Lower East Side, which like these are areas that don't have the subway. And even if you had the subway, the subway doesn't go like diagonally this way. All the subway really filters up and down through Manhattan more than anything. So that route, it makes sense that this route is popular in my city. People going from, you know, housing over here to jobs in here. Oh, look at that. The LUT changed again. I'm just going to leave it for now because I don't really know what's changing it and it's annoying. Maybe the next time I load the game, it'll be correct. Maybe it won't. Who knows? Honestly, I can sit here and watch this like Holland Tunnel just flow all day. When I came back from Japan, I took my rule generally is like I will take mass transit to the airport and I will get a car back when I'm exhausted and I just want to be home. So really long flight, a little bit delayed, ended up being like 14 hours. I ended up being up for like 27 hours straight, which was ridiculous. But we came out. Originally, the route was like, oh, go all the way up the turnpike and take the George Washington Bridge in, and then the Triborough into Queens. But my driver decided to take the Holland Tunnel, and I just kind of like love popping out. It was so nice to see it, like just being back in New York after a couple of weeks away. Yeah, there is no Javits Center. And it would fit in so nicely with like all of these beautiful Hudson Yards assets. And you know, I know I did a video many moons ago, but you know, this I think looks really nice. I probably should. There's a whole bunch of other like fancy buildings here now too. There's like I tried to like mimic the Manhattan West buildings, but the Spiral is right around here, which is pretty. I think it is super tall, or it's close to it. And it has like stepped gardens going around the building. And you know, there's like, you know, there's no Farley Post Office building. There is a like an original Penn Station building, which like actually would fit well here, but that asset, at least in the past for me, has been super buggy. It's broken saves before, so I don't touch that shit. And then, you know, there's a lot of gaps. Like certainly, I think even not even filling all of this, but even if I could just fill in, like start filtering it in, so at least it flows down a little bit, that would be really nice. But there's a fly in here. I had water damage in my apartment last week from the really bad storms in New York. The fly wants to be on. Got it. Fly wants to be on the microphone. Sorry about that. So my apartment is in a bit of a disaster. I had some water damage from the storms. Not very fun. But it looks like it will get fixed, like, within a reasonable amount of time. Hopefully no more, like, crazy 7 inches of rainstorms. New York, so, like, for those of you not in New York has had, like, 2 separate once in 100-year storms in back-to-back years. It's climate change. Climate change and an El Nino year. Just absolutely brutal. And it's going to rain this weekend, and it looks like it might rain next weekend. Not to dox me, no, I have not built my apartment in the game. Yeah, I mean, I think even divulging the fact that I live in Queens will do you no good. How many people live in Queens? What is the population of Queens? 2.3 million, give or take. Just a couple 100,000 behind Brooklyn. I know Brooklyn is the largest borough by population. Staten Island is the least, of course, but like so much more the least. It's Staten Island, the Bronx, Manhattan, Queens, and Brooklyn. Remember that Brooklyn used to be its own city prior to unification in 1898. So, and Brooklyn's just like big, you know. It's all of this, and then the line between Queens and Brooklyn is like kind of funky. It's in this area, but like all of this is Brooklyn, all the way down to Coney Island, which you can't even see. And Brooklyn was always like the residential, you know, area. I mean, it does have a downtown, which I haven't built yet, but is, you know, around here someplace. But yeah, Brooklyn's great. I miss living in Brooklyn. I don't know if I don't know if I'll ever get to again. Maybe that 1 year was all I'm gonna get, but that's okay. I've lived in plenty of other great places in New York, and I definitely like where I am now. All right, guys, we're closing in on an hour here. I'm gonna probably log off around then. Had a very long week with work, and at some point I'm going to sleep tonight, which is going to be fantastic. And I am getting my COVID and flu boosters in the morning. Adaptation of those is really bad. Go get your shots, guys. Protect yourselves and your loved ones. I think it's really important. You know, so, you know, hashtag Moderna shill. That's me. You know, real Pfizer guy right here. But people should do it more. All I keep hearing is everywhere I go is like, oh, so and so is COVID. I'm like, yeah, no shit, because people aren't getting their boosters. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I really appreciate it. As always, we're gonna do this more often. There will be some planned ones. There will be some probably more unplanned ones like this. I like just being able to hop on for a little bit, play the game with everybody, and enjoy City Skylines and enjoy New York. So I'll make more videos at some point. I promise. They're going to change. They're going to be different, but they will continue to happen. The channel is not going anywhere. The last video, despite being like 3 months old now, is getting a ton of engagement. I really appreciate that for anyone who's watched it, anyone who's new here. Welcome to the channel. You are welcome here, as everybody is. And yeah, Freedom Tower, look out for me. Hit me, DM me on Twitter. At I think you know, if you have Twitter. I'll maybe we can I'll let you know when I'm going to be there. So anyway. Everyone, thank you so much as always for joining me tonight. This is this one-to-one New York Build the City Skylines, and we will be back again soon. Have a good night, everybody.